Hello budget friends, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa and we're here to do the monthly budget closeout for the month of August 2024. We're here in Google Sheets. I'm going to show you what we forecasted versus what we actually spent and brought in during the month of August. It was our 3 paycheck magic month. So if you're interested in seeing how the numbers numbered, please keep on watching. All right. All right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. But if you're not new and you're a returning viewer or subscriber, welcome back. We're going to jump right into the numbers, you guys. Into the income section, we forecasted to roll over $1,250, but we actually rolled over $1,961.09. Our main income was budgeted at $10,981. We brought in $12,313.25. So next up is the miscellaneous and transfers. We didn't budget anything for that, but I was able to bring in $760.53. That's side hustle money and some additional monies we moved around. Some came in from sinking funds because we actually used some of our sinking funds in the month of August. I was not able to side hustle as much as I really wanted to, but luckily on my first 2 paychecks in the month of August, I had some overtime on there. The first one was for $2,624 and the next one was $2,820. My regular paycheck, you guys, is $2,226 per pay period. So as you could see, there was some significant amount of money that came in. Our forecasted total inflow was $12,231, but we actually brought in, you guys, $15,034.87. That's $2,803.87 in excess of what we budgeted. So this is amazing to start off this budget. Now, in the monthly bill section, the rent was budgeted at $2,500 and that's what we spent. Electric is budgeted at $101. We spent $100.70. And as you can see, I do budget using round numbers, but the actual is going to be what we actually sent out for these particular bills. HP Inc. is up next. We budgeted $6. We spent $5.42. Peloton was budgeted as $44, but we didn't pay anything because I did pause the subscription for the month of August. Google Cloud, we budgeted $3 and spent $2.16. Renter's insurance was budgeted at $15, but this time around, you guys, I did not take the money out as an expense. I left it to roll over into the new month. iCloud storage budgeted at $10, spent $9.99. SiriusXM budgeted at $8, we spent $7.99. Internet, you guys. So internet, there is some big changes because we budgeted $123. Our actual bill was $137.99. But you guys, I only paid $93.80. And let me tell you what happened. So I did get a trial period of 15 days with T-Mobile's internet. I do have my cell phone service through T-Mobile and did find out that they have internet service. I tried it out. On day 14, hubby and I decided, okay, this is working for us. The speeds was fine. We didn't have any glitches. Everything was fine. They were going to charge us $75 per month, and it was going to be combined with our cell phone bill. We were good with that because compared to $138 per month, we will take $75. So on day 14, I called Optimum, which is our internet provider, to cancel. Now, the gentleman that came on the phone didn't want to lose business. And he was like, after 13 years, yes, 13 years. I've been with Optimum for 13 years. He says, after 13 years, you're leaving? Why? And I was like, listen, for the last 7 or 8 months, you guys have been raising the price of my internet every month. And I was like, this is kind of crazy because I don't understand. I went from paying about $110 per month to $140. Like, what is going on? And I said, not only that, I did reach out because the promotion that I was on ended and you guys couldn't give me the same promotion. So why would I be paying you $138 when I could get cheaper internet? He was like, so you have looked into getting cheaper internet? I was like, yes, I'm going to switch to T-Mobile for $75 a month. He was not pleased with that. He was like, hold on, Melissa, hold on a second. He was like, what if we could cut your internet down to $100? I said, sir, compared to $75, that still does not cut it. I know. He was like, all right, hold on. Let me look over your service. So he did go in and he said that the speed that I had currently was at 1,000 megabits per second. And he was like, why do you need that much speed? And I said, well, I don't know, because at one point I do remember maybe like 4 years ago, the internet was very slow. So when I called them, they said I could up the speed. Anyway, he said, you don't need that much speed. And compared to what T-Mobile's going to give you, they give you half the speed of that. And I was like, wait, really? And I do remember when I signed up for the T-Mobile thing, it was really lower speed. And it wasn't giving me any trouble while I was trying it. So I said to him, okay, can you go down to a lower speed and what will the price be? He went down to 500 megabits and he said I can pay $65 for that, which I'm like, okay, that sounds good. So I also have a home phone with Optimum because it's a landline. We use it not quite as often as we do our cell phones, but I do have small children at home. I do have an illness, and the way I explain it to hubby is that we need a home phone just in case anything happens and one of our kids has to dial 911. I have a heart condition. Most of the time, I'm home with the kids alone because hubby work long hours. And I'm like, listen, we can still use the home phone just in case. And I've taught my children, if something happens to mommy and daddy, you can dial 911. I've taught them their address. I've taught them mommy's cell phone number. I've taught them everything. So in order for them to be able to call 911 instead of trying to battle with my cell phone that has a lock on there, we can use the house phone. So I really didn't want to get rid of the house phone, which is only costing me $15 per month. It is actually up from 10. So the guy on the phone said to me, well, if you get rid of your home phone, you can only pay $65 per month. And I was like, I don't want to get rid of the home phone. I'll be fine keeping it. He says, okay, well, your internet bill will just be about $80 per month. That's including the home phone. And then tax should bring it up to maybe like $85 per month. And I was like, sold. Because, T-Mobile doesn't have a home phone service and I really wanted to keep it. And if I canceled Optimum, I was going to have to give up the home phone, which I was really reluctant in giving that up. But anyway, as of now, going forward, our internet bill should be under $90. I will put it that in that sense, under $90. Now, you're looking at $93.80 here because he was able to lock me in with that price for 2 years. And he told me that he gave me the new customer price. So my bill won't increase for 2 years. And then he says, not only that, he prorated it. So I was able to get a discount off the bill that I currently owed. So I said to him, okay, if I pay this $93.80, am I going to be hit with a bill next month because of the balance that's going to come on the account? He said no. So anyway, you guys, I did pay the $93.80. And a few days after paying it, I did reach out and I said, what is the balance on my bill? They said zero. So we're good to go. Hopefully nothing creeps out of the dark to come back and bite me. But as of now, moving forward, our internet will come down to about, like I said, under $90 for the months. Now, moving on to the cell phone, $263 was budgeted, but we spent $247.05. So our total monthly bills budgeted was $3,073, but we came in under budget, you guys, and I'm happy to say this, $2,967.11. That's $105.89 under budget. Now into the main focus section, I budgeted $40 for my student loan and that was spent. One main, I budgeted $508. I spent $778.96 because it was a 3 paycheck month. One main's payment is on my biweekly paycheck schedule. So I do pay every 2 weeks. And because we received that last paycheck at the end of August, I went ahead and paid that additional payment. Lending Club budgeted at $1060. I spent $1,061.73. And if you've seen my debt update video, I did tell you guys that I wanted to end at a round number. So I did end up paying an extra $1.73 just to bring it to a round number. So out of the $1,608 we budgeted, we went over and spent $1,880.69. Now into the credit card section, we budgeted $45 for Marcus, spent $271. Discover budgeted $159, spent $242.24. Mattress Firm budgeted and spent $67. Capital One number one budgeted $465, spent $670.10. Capital One number two budgeted $91, spent $139.57. Apple Card budgeted $61, but ended up spending $283.56. Now, if you have not seen my debt update, go ahead and you will understand why these numbers are more than what we budgeted. Now, the total amount we forecasted for credit cards was $888, but we came in at $1,673.47. And even though you guys, we're over budget by $785.47, I am not mad at it because you know it. All of this money went towards paying down my debt. Okay, moving on to the transportation section. Auto loan was budgeted at $940, and that's what we spent. Car insurance budgeted $260, spent $252.38. Gas, we budgeted $450 because I anticipated driving a lot more, because even the month of July, I was way over budget. We didn't do as much as, well, I didn't do as much as I hoped I was going to do in the month of August, so we only spent $250 on gas. Maintenance, we didn't budget anything but spent $10. Parking fees, didn't budget anything but spent $5. So out of the $1,650 that was forecasted for transportation, we came in under budget and spent $1,457.38. Into the personal section, braids and things was budgeted at $25. We only spent $4.30. Dental, nothing was budgeted, but I ended up spending $355.31. Personal products budgeted $30, but spent nothing. Spend how I want, budgeted $45 and only spent $23.55. So even though some of our categories here are under budget, we did go over budget because the forecasted amount was $100, but we ended up spending $383.16. Now into the everyday section, this is the section, you guys, that I'm having the hardest time with every month. Every month I come in, I am over budget in most of these categories. I need to get a handle on this. If you guys have any suggestion, please leave them down in the comment section below, because I'm having a very tough time keeping my everyday spending or variable categories under control. Now, copay is something that I'm just saying that I couldn't do any better here, because we only budgeted $25 for copay because I knew I only had one doctor's appointment in the month of August. But look at this, $452.31 was spent. And you guys, let me tell you, right off the bat, I tweaked my back somehow, and I ended up going to the chiropractor, and it took me 5 visits to get it right. Each visit is $25. So I ended up paying $125 to the chiropractor in the month of August. Right off the bat, that is over my $25 budget. Another thing, I did get a lot of copay bills home in the mail. I've been disputing, I've been calling the different doctor's office and, telling them or asking questions as to why the bills keep coming home in the mail. One of them even went to the collections department of the hospital. And I was like, listen, this is just ridiculous. So, long story short, I had to pay all of these copays that was coming home because they've been coming home for months and I've been disputing them for months. But it's not worth me getting a $25 collection bill on my credit. So I went ahead and paid it. Eating out was budgeted at $200, but you guys, I spent $330.06. So I am not mad at this money that I spent in eating out because I was able to hang out and reminisce and had a very nice weekend with a childhood friend of mine. We have been friends since the third grade. It wasn't a planned visit, but the weekend hubby went out of town to get the kids from Jamaica. She came over and hung out with me. She lives in Massachusetts. I live in New York. So we were going to meet up and she decided she would travel to me. And we ended up going out to dinner one night and we cooked at home the next night and we had a blast. We've been friends since primary school days. I grew up in Jamaica, so that's what we called it. Here it's elementary age. We talked and laughed, and it was amazing how much we remember from the time we were third grade. My son is in fourth grade now, so third grade we were 8 and 9. It's amazing. So it was fun to catch up with her. I was able to move money around to be able to cover this spending, so I'm not mad at it. It was good to hang out with a friend. Groceries budgeted 500 but went over, you guys. We spent $819.15, and this is the reason why. So the kids were out of town until the last week of August. I ended up buying groceries on the 30th. I was hoping that it would roll into September, but I couldn't wait. The kids were home. There was nothing in the house for them to eat and no snacks, nothing. So I had to go shopping, you guys. And I had to restock the house because hubby and we've been roughing it for we've been roughing it for the last 2 months. The money that I wanted to spend in the month of September, as in groceries, ended up being spent in August. So that's why the groceries is over by this much, $319.15. It's okay. Given was budgeted at 5, we spent 5. Household goods budgeted $75, spent $335.20. This is also over budget because laundry detergent and all the different things that I had to buy. Oh my goodness. Let's not even talk about it. That's what I'm telling you. I've had it, you guys, because I keep going over budgets in these areas and I'm trying my best, but I can't get a handle on it. And that's why I'm asking you guys, if you have any suggestion, please, 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 please leave it in the comment section down below. Medication was budgeted at 30 and we spent 60. So this was a fluke because a medication that I take daily, usually the pharmacy would refill it every month, but somehow they refilled it for 3 months and there was a discount. So the prescription itself is $30 per month. If I did the 90-day supply, I get a discount for only $60. Now, that's a no-brainer. Even though it wasn't in my budget, it's a no-brainer because I'm saving myself $30. Reimbursement, propane, and unexpected spending, nothing budgeted or spent. So, you guys, my everyday spending total forecast was $835 and I spent $2,001.72. Ouch. You guys, I'm sick of this. I am so sick of this. So I am $1,166.72 over budget in the everyday spending section. Something has got to give. It has got to give, you guys. Anyway, let's move on to the My Baby section. I didn't budget anything for the babysitter, but I did mention to you guys that the kids came back at the end of August and we needed to use her for a couple days. I paid her $120. Braces budgeted at $164. That was what we paid. Child support budgeted at $526. I only sent over $476 because an extra $50 came out of this to pay half of my daughter's copay. This is my older daughter that lives with her dad. We do split things down the middle, but instead of him sending me $50 to pay for the copay, I ended up just taking it out of the child support and sending it over to him. Now, clothes and shoes, we didn't budget anything, but I spent $414.56. So I did budget for this in one of my Paycheck budget with me in YNAB. I will link that in the cards for you guys to see. I think that was Paycheck number 2. So I did budget for it, and this is what we spent. Next is haircuts. I budgeted 30, spent 30. And supplies, we didn't budget anything, but spent $27.96. So out of the $720 that was budgeted, we went over budget and spent $1,232.52. Now, the savings and sinking fund section, I have minimized the individual sinking funds and savings categories. And I'm only going to tell you that the total amount that we were expecting to save was $702, but we actually saved $790.25. So this is also a good thing, even though it was more than the amount that I forecasted. I'm not complaining about this one. So let's just sum it up. Total income that was brought in was $15,034.87. We ended up spending in expenses $12,386.30. And that's leaving me a rollover amount, you guys, in the green. Yes, yes, it's in the green of $2,648.57. Yes. So I do have some numbers down here, and I'm just going to tell you guys about them. When I went into my accounts and do my roundup to roll over into the new month, I had $2,644.77 in my accounts. So the budget is telling me I should have had $3.80 more that I can't find. And I'm not going to sweat it. It's under $5. So we're pretty darn close to what the budget is telling me I should have rolled over. Now, this other number over here is what I got using YNAB. So the last paycheck that I budgeted in August, I had to jump into September and budget a couple things in YNAB for the new month. Before I went over into September, the money that was left over was $2,613.17. That's a difference of $10.81 from this rollover money that I have in the budget. I'm still not mad at it, you guys. This money is somewhere that eventually I will figure it out. I'm not trying to figure it out right now. I've done it. I've tried and it hasn't worked. So for the purpose of this video, I'm just telling you guys what these numbers mean and we're just going to move on. So I need to mention and I need to make this clear. Past months, I have been putting things on credit cards and wasn't able to pay them back. But you guys, if you've seen my debt update, I have not created any new debt. What I'm doing is paying down the debt. I have not created any new debt. So everything that was spent, even if it was charged onto a credit card, because I do use, especially my Apple card, I use it religiously. And everything that was charged onto that card, you guys, was paid back. What did I say? It was paid back. So I am not floating things on the credit card. No, I haven't done that in a couple of months. And I'm very, very proud of myself. So we're rolling into September with some leftover money. And we're going to hope that September can bring us as much joy and as much peace with my finances as the month of August did. So this is what our monthly budget looked like. We brought in more money than we forecasted, but we also spent more money than we forecasted because we could. All right. So money was sent to savings, bills were paid, everything was paid on time, and we're good to go. So if you guys have lasted this long during the video and you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I would love for you to follow along with my journey and watch me take the necessary steps to become debt free. So until next time, you guys, I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.